Happy Thanksgiving to my Canadians. We are here on Monday instead of Sunday because it's a long weekend, but don't worry, we're going to continue on Sundays moving forward. Let me know when you're here. Let me know when you're watching on replay. I'm going to give these cards a good shuffle to see what's happening because we're just boogieing on. We are just going so quickly through October. This reading is for October 12th through to the 18th. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness. So just a few housekeeping as we get started here and waiting for everyone to come in. We have October 22nd, Intro to Oracle online class. This is a one evening class. Replays available. Everything that you need to know if you're curious or interested in learning how to read cards. This is everything that you need, very basic, very beginner level, from how to pick out cards, how to shuffle them, what to do with them, how to use them for yourself, how to use them to do readings for others, and everything in between. And so this is a wonderful interactive class. It will be hosted on Zoom. Replay will be available for you as well. So just, if this is something that you are interested in, definitely have a look over at my website, AngelaMcCullen.com. Hi, Fred. Oh, good. I see you guys coming in. I had too much of the turkey. November 8th, I'm in Amherst, Nova Scotia for in-person Messages from Spirit event. November 20th, we're doing an online Messages from Spirit via Zoom. December 4th, we're doing in-person Sydney, Nova Scotia for Messages from Spirit evening. And December 12th, we just opened 2 days ago, Windsor, Nova Scotia for Messages from Spirit. And it's almost 50% sold. So if you're in the Windsor area, this is it for 2025. What I have on the calendar, we're maxed out. And so grab your tickets. You can head over to AngelaMcCullen.com. Amherst is handling the ticket sales themselves. So you're going to want to contact the Amherst Legion to grab your tickets for that event. Everything else you can find at my website at AngelaMcCullen.com. All right. Hi, everyone. And everyone have a lovely weekend. This weather, like this Cape Breton, weather has just been so beautiful. The leaves, the mainland as well, the leaves. And it's so crazy because I've been saying all month, oh my God, the leaves. Oh my God, the leaves. And we really have had a tropical storm every fall for the last 5-6 years. Since Fiona, and I just feel like we didn't get the leaves. We didn't get the oh my God, they're so vibrant and plentiful and just absolutely beautiful. I cannot get enough of them. I love them so much. So I hope that you're able to soak this up. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. Lots to be grateful for, lots to be thankful for. Gratitude is one of the gifts that keep on giving. So not only does it remind us, right, resets, rewires our mindset, helps us look for the blessings, because whatever you look for, you will find, right? And so we can intentionally welcome in the practice of gratitude, but it raises your vibration as well. It literally makes you feel better. It increases and tunes you in more to your intuition as well. So it's just if you take on one good habit, that would be it. That would be it, right, Ashley? They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. So that's what I have on just a quick run through. October 22nd, Intro to Oracle online masterclass. November 8th, Amherst, Nova Scotia, in-person Messages from Spirit. November 20th, online Zoom Messages from Spirit. December 4th, Sydney Messages from Spirit. And December 12th, Windsor. We just put that on the books 2 days ago and it's almost 50% sold out. So if you're in that Windsor area, you definitely want to get the tickets sooner than later. So I am excited to see what we have in store. Let's jump right into this weekly guidance. Lots of reassurance from the other side. You guys getting a lot of signs and symbols, a lot of angel numbers, a lot of dimes, a lot of feathers. There seems to be quite the uptick there. So really kind of validating, not only in October does the veil thin the closer we get to Halloween. So we're going to naturally be more in tune. That veil is thinning between our realm and the spirit realm, which allows us to feel and sense our loved ones in our divine team more with ease. For some, it can come in with some sense of it could kind of feel like an increase in anxiety because we're feeling so much more intensely. It can come in as insomnia. It can come in as some broken sleep, very vivid dreams, like dreaming like crazy, lots of visitations. I'm not one, even though I'm a medium and I can do this for others, I'm not one to get a lot of visitations in my own personal life, in my own dreams. They have been frequent flying. So it's interesting at how much things are shifting, as we know, and as we've been saying, there's such this energy shift. We're here, we're in it. We're into this new energy, which I am so here for. Some of you may be starting out in this energy a little bit fatigued. That's okay. That's the letting go of the old, welcoming in the new, right? And so just kind of have some patience with yourself with that. Okay, let's jump in and see what's temporary pause. There we are. That's exactly what I was saying. Feeling a little bit maybe run down. Maybe we're catching that cold that's going around. Maybe we're just feeling a little blasé. That is okay. I'm telling you, that's only temporary. There is the need for you to kind of reset, and that almost seems what it is. And I can feel, the next 6 weeks are going to be very busy. They're going to be very busy. And so it's really important for you to take this time now where we have the temporary pause, which means that we have this little opportunity to reset. There's also needing to let go. There's something that we're hanging on. For some of you, it's coming in kind of both ways. For some of you, you're trying to take the past forward with you and it just has no business coming. So we do need to kind of look at with clear eyes and to bring to release, okay? People, places, things that no longer serve you. There's also these expectations, these unrealistic expectations that us humans love to have. But there is this expectation where it's kind of like we're putting all this pressure. And maybe it's that subconscious because it's like we're talking about, oh my gosh, like the energy is shifting and things are getting lighter and we're building the foundation for a really prosperous and abundance 2026 and we're so excited, and right? And sometimes the subconscious or conscious wants to go, let's sabotage that. Let's not enjoy that. Let's make this harder on ourselves than it needs to be. And so really feeling like a little bit of self-accountability and self-reflection is absolutely needed here, okay? Humans are funny like that, right? And oftentimes we can make things very difficult upon ourselves. And so there is this kind of need for you to sit back and to reflect, okay? That seems to be like the biggest thing right now. And kind of let go of because I'm telling you what it is. They're making me feel like whatever's happening in here is creating this stress and this pressure on you when it just doesn't need to be. It just doesn't need to be, right? And so we need to go in with that self-awareness and go, okay, what parts am I playing? What can I have responsibility for me. I have control over me, right? And so anything that is my doing, I can shift and change. I can heal. I can rewire. I can replace. I can change directions, right? And so like, that's the best news that we can hear. If it is being created in the mind, that ego, that personality, then we can shift it and we can make it work for us. And there is this kind of need, and maybe too, this could be that sense of that pressure, right? Because our bodies love the chemical release of the cortisol and the adrenaline and the dopamine and all the stress hormones in our bodies, right? So we may be creating when there's nothing there, feeling that void of, well, what am I going to fixate on now, right? And so there's a little bit, I think, that self-awareness is really going to bring up what needs to shift and change. It's almost like we're still wanting, remember how many times we talked about this year about back to the basics, keeping things simplistic? Even though things are happening and things are moving up, we need that baseline that's going to keep us grounded as we navigate these shifts and changes. And so I think that's going to be something that's showing up for us over the next couple of weeks. Okay. There seems to be, yeah, exactly. Get out of your head. There seems to be a non-starter. It's like you keep trying to do something and then before you do it, you you talk yourself out of it. Okay, we do kind of want to have that push. This is something, because it's you, it's been created by you, or it's a reflection of you. There's a sense of this kind of vulnerability that comes in with it. And so we have the Queen of Earth and the Empress card, and then the King of Earth both coming out, which is being like, listen, you got this. Like, you are so much more able and capable than you think that you are. You are so much more than what you can see, right? And oftentimes this gets in the way. That we're really wanting to lean into this, lean into your energy, the way that you do it, the energy that you bring to it, is the gift. Right? And so if this is a new job, a new role, a new opportunity, a new experience, and you may say, oh, you know what? Anybody can do this, but nobody could do it the way that you do it. Right? The energy that you bring to it. And that's something that I think is so valuable right now. Think about what I do. There's lots, so in the last 10 years of me coming on, and having this community with you, it has really taken off. There's very high saturation of people that do what I do now online. And that's great. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and you go and there's someone for everyone, right? I can only do it the way that I do it. Right? I can't do it. If I try to do it to somebody, it's not going to work. It can't work. I can only do it the way that I do it. And that is a blessing, right? And so even though there's all kinds of people that can do what I can do, only I can do it the way that I do it, right? And so that allows you to have full permission of just being like, listen, right? And when you think of it, you know, imagine learning how to walk. Well, like, they know how to walk. I can't walk. They're walking. So, like, I don't want to, like, copy them. Right? And so whatever this is, there is this kind of creative element to it. Really wanting you to understand that your authenticity, your pizzazz, your jazz, your energy that you put on it, your spin is the gift. Don't go in your head, well, anybody can do this, and right? Only you can do it the way that you do it, and that's going to be well received. And so this is a little bit of like this passion project, or this where you feel like you have to be out, right? Like, we have to be out, I have to be seen, or I have to speak up, or whatever this is for you that's giving you the jitters, right? Only you can do it the way that you can do it, and that's going to be well received. Okay? Don't try to do it like somebody else. You can only do it the way that you do it, and it will be well received. Okay? So there does seem to be this is interesting. I just feel like, what is going on? We are just overthinking so hard this week. Like, we're so up in our heads. So we're learning of information. We're receiving an outcome is what it looks like, right? We are making a decision or receiving the information that then leads us to a decision. That is clearly a positive, right? So this could be positive results. This could be decision made in your favor. This could be opportunities coming to you. This could be setting a retirement date. This could be, you know, finalizing that move. Whatever this is, it's a positive. And there we are, not appreciating it. Focusing on the negative, right? And so there seems to be like this kind of repetitive theme through this week where we may be overthinking. So what do I do when I'm in that space? I need to ground out my energy, right? And so I think moving my body and connecting with nature, those are the two things that are kind of my go-to. If I cannot shut the brain up, I'll do like a journaling session, but like a brain dump. Get out everything that's going on in here, get it out, right? Just get it out and put it on pen and paper. That could be very helpful. There is this feeling, and as we're kind of navigating and moving through this week, these are different experiences. These have, it's not snowballing, one experience bringing into the next. So this is saying that this week as a whole, we're a little bit uncentered. We're a little bit lacking in our grounding. So we need to create that for ourselves. We may be finding it hard to shut down the brain. We may be having that manic, that hyper focus, that overthinking, right? And so what can we do to center our energy? What do you, clearing it and clearing your space with some sage, meditations, clearing meditative music, I guess. Sometimes people like to put it on speakers and play it loudly in their space to cleanse their space as well. Grounding your energy, getting out in nature, journaling, moving your body, exercise, all of these things can very well work together to quiet the mind, okay? Because this outcome seems like a win, right? It may not be 100%. It may be 93%. And you're damn well focused on that 7%. Right? Instead of seeing it for all the blessings that it is and seeing it for the positive that it is, we're focusing on the negative. We're focusing on the lack of perfection. We're focusing on whatever didn't work exactly like the way that we want it to work. And that is literally stealing your joy and stealing your excitement here. And so we do need to have that mindset shift, okay? I think as well that it's important for us to, lean back into what we know helps. So daily affirmations, positive thinking, gratitudes. We just talked about that at the beginning of the video with it being Canadian Thanksgiving. Not only does gratitude make us feel good, but it raises our vibrations. It keeps us aligned. It's helps us manifest and bring in more things to be abundant. When you focus on things that are a blessing, it attracts more things that feel like a blessing, right? And so it isn't kind of this is within your control. And remember at the top of the reading, we talked about how it's within us. And so it does seem like this little bit of imbalance, mentally focused, wanting to ground it, wanting to use our tools that we have picked up along the way to regain our control and our power over ourselves. Because that's a win. That's a win. That's great. That's great news, right? And we want to see it for what it is. There you are doing that work on yourself. You may actually find yourself a little bit exhausted. We talked about that earlier in the video as well with the veil thinning as we get closer to the end of the month. You may need to turn inward. You may also find of this kind of static energy that we're feeling that's causing some more hyper focus and overthinking that you're going to want to retreat. Maybe we're not going to want to be around other people at this time. We may be feeling a little bit too overwhelmed or too a little antsy or too irritable. That's totally fine. The High Priestess card is all about going within. Meditate and turn inward, right? And so we may not want to be hitting the ground running this week. Maybe we're wanting to kind of self-care. You have to understand that self-care isn't just our nails and our hair and a massage. It is giving you what it is that you need when you need it, right? And this week, it's clearly refocus, simplifying, grounding, and centering your energy. Because we could really get up in our heads and really wreak some havoc on ourselves this week, okay? There is someone that's coming in. There is someone outside of yourself that you are waiting to see if it's going to work, if it's going to be a match. This does not feel like a romantic connection that I'm referring to. It feels more like a service provider. Maybe we're waiting to see the specialist. Maybe we're waiting on the contractor. Maybe we're going to a new custom woodworker. Whatever it is, we're kind of waiting to see, is it going to work out? There is the need for clear communication. This is not something to be wishy-washy about. Don't hesitate in clear communication, like this is my expectations, or this is what I need, or what is the price point, or let us make sure that we're on the same page. Clear communication is absolutely needed here. There's no malicious intent. This person actually feels very trustworthy, but it does feel like there's holes within the communication. So make sure that you get the answers or get the information that you need before you sign on any dotted line or make a commitment there. the wheel card is saying a fresh new start and a delay. So this is leading you to where it is that you need. This is positive. We're happy with this connection. We're happy with this contract or this experience within with each other. But there just is that extra effort needed for communication, to have that kind of like that clear communication, all the information on the table. Make sure that you feel heard. Make sure that they feel heard. I think is going to be the best way to experience that. And it also feels like it's taking forever and it's just never going to start, or it's never going to come. It comes out of nowheres and then it's done before you know it. And so again, that overthinking, expecting the worst, creating a mountain out of a molehill, all of that we're wanting to balance this week, because things are moving in place. Progress is coming in, right? We are progressing forward. So your mind just seems to want the mic all week. Wants to wreak some havoc on you all week. So just be mindful, right? We think thousands of thoughts a day. Thousands of thoughts a day. Doesn't mean they're good thoughts. Doesn't mean they're accurate. Doesn't mean that they're helpful or even true, right? And so you get to go, okay, yeah. You know what? That's not really true, right? And just have that awareness. Because when we don't have awareness, we're still thinking these thoughts on autopilot. They're still going, and they can dictate how you feel about yourself, what you're choosing to do and not do, how you move through the day, right? And so have that awareness, and don't let these thoughts that aren't even true or in alignment with what you desire or what you want in life dictate how you're feeling about your life. That's what's wild, right? I talk about this all the time in the classes that I run, is like, when you become aware, when you slow down enough to listen to some of the bullshit that goes on in here, it's actually wild, right? And so you can't shift what you don't recognize. And by just bringing this awareness, because we may be having somebody's belief, right? We don't even believe it, but yet it's on autopilot. It's kind of like conditioned. We picked it up along the way. And even though we don't believe it, we're not giving it enough time, right? We're not giving it enough attention. So it's kind of playing in the background, dictating how we feel, right? Feel about ourselves and move through the day. And when we stop to go, I don't even believe that, right? Then we're saying like, stop, remove, right? But until we bring that awareness to, geez, there is a lot of constant narration or comments or digs and criticisms. We can say, nope, I'm choosing not to believe that. I'm not listening to that today. I'm going to replace it with something that's better feeling, right? And so we may have a dialogue of like, you're totally behind. You're not doing good enough. Look at everybody else they're doing. You could say, no, I'm exactly where I need to be in this exact moment in my life to learn what I need to learn right now. Boom. Because that's the truth. You're exactly where you need to be. You cannot compare your path to somebody else's. It's apples and oranges, right? You can only be where you're meant to be in the life lesson with the life contracts that you chose for this life at this time. But we have that narration that tells us else. Otherwise, in it lies. Anyways, that's the biggest thing. Ground your energy, move your body this week. Pay attention to what's being said. Journal it out. If some good divine information comes out, journal that too. Once we clear out the noise, you'd be amazed at what can come in. All right, I will see you next Sunday with your weekly guidance.